Ghost of Tsushima. Tsushima. Sushi. Shishi. This is a good game. I stayed away from playing this for a long... I don't know, this game... There's something about it. And this is kind of how I started looking at it. And then, you know, where I ended up at, where it was in the middle kind of thing. At first, it's like, okay, what do we got here? Sucker Punch. What all else have they made? Infamous. I tried Infamous on the PS3. I didn't like it, and I only played it because I had a friend give it to me. I don't even think she gave me the game disc or the case. It was just the disc. I don't know why she gave me. I mean, it's cool, but like. So basically, right off the bat, I didn't really respect Infamous. I didn't really look at it like, oh, this is a cool game. This is something I'm interested in. This is something I want to play. And I just played. I tried it out one day just because it was there. But I didn't like it at all. And supposedly that's what they're kind of known for. And to me, it feels like such an old game too. I don't know what else they've really done. I never really looked into it. But just right off the bat, it's like studio-wise, you know, not a lot going on there. And I could be wrong. There could be a lot more to it, sure. But it's one of those things where, you know, I think studios can say a lot about the games that they make and the things that they do and the style that they have, their UI, their mechanics, everything. And granted, these are two completely different kind of games comparison-wise. One is just kind of whatever, and this one is kind of something else completely. Yeah, I'm just picky. In this game, it's like, hey, Ghost, Tsushima, title's cool. Jin Sakai, it's very historical. Supposedly this all really actually happened, or there's more to it than I don't really know or anything about. I don't know. Mongolians. Yeah, just it kind of gives me Last of Us 2 vibes. Like, it was, you know, there's just something off. There's just, like, it's still good, but there's just something that I'm not really connecting with or seeing here that supposedly everyone else is seeing. I don't really get it. I mean, I spent 150 hours playing this. I mean, I did everything. I cleared the map. I went out of my way just to do that, which was probably it was not fun, exactly. I did all the little activities. But my grievances with this game is just what everyone else, you know, Sucker Punch made a Japanese game, and I'm pretty sure they're American or Western or just English, or they're not Japanese. I know that, unless there's like a Japanese studio or I don't know how big this company is. I have no clue. But we're not talking Capcom, we're not talking FromSoft, we're not talking Bandai Namco, or I mean specifically like any kind of actual affiliation there. Even if there is a small one somewhere, it's not really as apparent. We're not talking like an unknown. I mean, whatever other big ones are out there. just Bandai basically in general, which does a majority of any sort of Japanese game. What else is there? Team Ninja, just kind of in that realm. The games that I've known to play and that I know about in the studios that I'm familiar with. And then here I am playing this Sucker Punch game. Kind of reminds me of the movie Sucker Punch. It was just really weird. Like their style is just so... it's so out there and so... My same issues with probably a lot of other people could agree with easily is the leaves everywhere, the weather system. The worst part for me was the wind navigation. Give me a mini map, give me a direction, give me an arrow, give me something, man. Give me a compass. I even hate using those, northeast, southwest. Give me something, man. GPS, give me coordinates, give me... Goodness, you're following the wind to some god-known location. What the hell? That's why clearing the map was so difficult too, because I literally went to every patch of land that I didn't cover, even with my outfit that would have covered more of the fog of war or whatever it's called. And maxed out, what was it, like 40%, like a radius? And granted, that was my own bad. I didn't have to do that. That was optional. That was on me. But literally just going to your next destination, it's boom, 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 go, go, go. I spent so much time in that game, I was rushing and I wanted to get it done. And it took so long just to get from one place to another. It was ridiculous, just trying to get around. Like, I don't care about the immersive Kurosawa. I never got into the old samurai movies. I know about them, obviously. And it's like, hey, I love the culture. I love the history. I love Japan. I love samurais. It's like half my thing. But this game just really just did not do it for me. Granted, I spent a lot of time in it, and just out of the respect for what the game is and what it represents and the country that it takes place in and the setting and all these things, but the game itself was so hard to play. The gameplay was just... They made everything so damn difficult just to get around, just to get from one place to the next, and the horse and the mobility and... You know, Jin's like a monkey climbing around everywhere. I'm not into Assassin's Creed parkour kind of stuff. Climbing walls, grappling hooks. You know, fall damage, doing a double roll when you fall. The horse had a difficult time getting around. Like, you kind of add this up and it's just ridiculous. Like, I didn't mind the game so much. It's just playing the game that was the problem, which was really unfortunate. And that's how a lot of games can be. Like, on the surface, it's going to be this kind of thing that you're interested in, or this jacket of interestingness. But there's that layer underneath that's kind of just whatever they decide to kind of how to design the game. And for a lot of people, that can be a problem. If you're sitting there thinking of ways that this could be done better, that's not good. Because there's always room for improvement, but this is ridiculous. Yeah, the cutscenes are good.
There must be thousands of them. We will face death and defend our home. Tradition. Courage.
The cutscenes are cool. It was very cinematic. It was very... thematic. Is that right? You know, they kept going widescreen, full screen. That kind of got annoying. It was like widescreen, full, like constantly. I was like, dude, relax with the widescreen. And it was for every little thing. The conversations you'd have with the people, It's like, we get it, guys, relax. Yeah, a lot of issues. I mean, there's obviously good things too. It was very pretty. The environments, the weather, the sky, the land, the foliage, the trees, the flowers, the water. Hell, the rocks. It was very much a AAA quality game, but oh my gosh, like when I just think of like most other games I've played, it's easy to have like little problems, glitches, bugs, crashing, technical stuff, right? This was a very well optimized game that I didn't really have any like issues that were broken or. But man, I don't know. When I initially played this, I wasn't expecting an open world game. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't really watch much of it. Like one stream for like an hour or two, and that was about it. I was like, wait, this could be good. Because I've played similar games with that same style where you're kind of just doing these very repetitive things over and over, but they're at least fun enough and interesting enough to kind of partake in and participate. Ghostwire Tokyo is a good example of that. I mean, it was very much open world, and it was very much made in a way where I like doing that stuff. I like keeping busy and going here and there and doing this and that. But I'm on a horse. My main character is a little short guy who can barely... Not the fastest guy in the world. You know, the climbing puzzles, it reminded me of Jedi Fallen Order / Survivor. I don't know, it had all the elements in the game to really comfort me and be there for me, because I liked the way that a lot of this was mapped out and laid out. It felt very similar to what I've experienced beforehand. But yeah, like, yeah, the leaves are annoying. Yeah, the mobility isn't great. Yeah, I'm not into the Kurosawa. You know, everything had to be some kind of moment, or they tried to squeeze in so much. They tried to make it so much of its own thing that I think that it fell flat on its face, because they really made it about, they had like what, 5-ish main points, like it's this and this and this. But they didn't really leave much room open for interpretation. They kind of just really molded it the way that they had a vision, and I respect that. But it was done in such a way where this isn't even just a samurai game to me. It's like it's just kind of all over the place. It's messy, it's chaotic, it didn't really seem like a solid concrete foundation structure. It was trying to be all these things, and you know, it's a piece of art, it's a game, it's a pre-made, pre-done, this is what you get, this is the project, this is the piece, I get it. But one thing I look for in samurai games is like, I like just kind of being my own guy, interpreting things on my own adventure and quest, and this game was just like, everything was kind of done for you, and you were so pushed and scripted towards a certain way. And well, it's like, obviously there's a story there, but it's an open world game, so it really takes kind of whatever story there is and kind of dilutes it. And doesn't really make it about the story. What you end up doing is just doing all this side stuff that completely destroys whatever immersiveness there could have been in the first place. And they tried so hard to focus on that. I mean, granted, if you just did the main story like back to back to back, maybe, but there's some ways to like up your abilities and skills, and but it was so versatile and diverse in the ways that you can in the combat, which is good. I don't know, this game was just, it's overwhelming just thinking about it. I think that they just tried to do too much with too little. You know, we're on an island, there's this war, it was drawn out, it took so long just to beat the game, and that's kind of on me, that was my thing, but they milked it so much, like, oh, the big bad guy, oh man. It was a very it was so Japanese, but not at the same time. And it was just, it's a turnoff. It's not, I don't respect it. I don't look at it the same as like, hey, this came right, the source material came right from the place, from the people that are native there. It's interpreted in its best, most native way possible, and there's something special there. That's why it works. I feel like they were just like, hey guys, let's make a samurai game. Everyone loves those, right? Let's make a Japanese game. I feel like I'll give them some credit. They had some balls to even like go this direction, but I just don't think it worked. You know, if they chose like any other route other than, here's the difference. This company tried to make Ghost of Tsushima. If this was like a Japanese studio, Capcom for example, they make like a more Western Resident Evil, the Gladiator game that they did, Rome or whatever it's called. They have a really interesting way of looking at the rest of the world. And I feel like they do it justice, for the most part. When you take whatever this is, it's kind of this reverse, like, it just doesn't really come across as, it's not as good as I would have liked it to be. I mean, to me it's just like another game, it's just another samurai game. But out of the ones I played, just a couple examples, Neo and Onimusha. Granted, I played Sekiro for a couple hours. I never got to Rise of the Ronin. There's literally like 1,000 samurai games out there. I see them all the time when I'm going through like a discount sale list, and I notice how many there are, especially on PlayStation, and you know, they're a dime a dozen, just like anime games, just like a lot of, it's really wild how many there actually is, honestly. But the thing with a lot of those games, they're indie, and they don't meet this kind of standard. But I don't know, I was just disappointed, basically. Gameplay is good. Yeah, like here's the deal. It's a Japanese looking game, and I like it for that. That's the only reason why I stuck around. But it's not a Japanese game, and I'm very open-minded. I'm all for it. I'm willing to try it out, give things a chance, give things a try. I watch anime dubbed in English. I played this whole game in English. If there's a Japanese made game with English in it, I'm gonna do it. That's the language I speak in. That's how I understand it the best and can interpret it the best and watch it more clearly. I'm not even gonna get into that. That's like a whole it's like a whole nother video. But the point is that I'm very keen to whatever it is that they offer us, whatever it is that they pump out and give to the rest of the world and share their artistic insights on everything that surrounds them and who they are and who they've always been and are now and in the future, all these things. And this game didn't really provide me with that. It just... I wasn't playing it... Like, I didn't feel comfortable. I didn't feel like at home or at ease or like in a better place. Or that's how I feel with a lot of other games from this country. Is it feels like home. And I don't know. And it's not... I'm not even trying to focus on just the fact that it's not like a genuine... It's not even about that specifically. It's more about just the process and how it was made and all these things. That's the problem. It's not so much where it came from necessarily. You know, that's such a small way to kind of look at them. Just kind of generally, overall, universally, the big picture type thing, right? I mean, leave it for a non-Japanese group of individuals or whatever to interpret something from their land and kind of warp it into this whole whatever else other thing. I feel like that's pretty typical. But... and it's tough too, because it's like, hey man, it was very genuine, it was very traditional, feudal Japan. You had onsens, you had scrolls, you had haikus, you had... It was all very factual, or at least looking... history, ways of their life, the things that they do, and the way that they sit, and they nailed it all down. But to me, it just looked like a bunch of research they did. You know, it's just a bunch of common sense stuff that most people would probably have a pretty good understanding of. You know, what they just do, spend all day on Google and you know, bust out a game. Eventually I had to cave in and play this because it was like, hey, I avoided it for a long time. I was skeptical about it. It's very sus, sketchy. But the way I had to look at it was like, hey, it's a samurai game, you know? And it's a big one. And I had to at least try it. Because it's tough when you don't give things a chance, but this is the problem. I knew it was going to be an issue. I knew I wasn't going to like this game, and I still played it. And I only did that, I only spent as much time as I did in it, because it was a game to play, it gave me something to do. But I'll be honest, I didn't really enjoy a lot of it. I'd say I actually liked probably about 25% of it. I like the armor, the customization, the swords, the colors, the cosmetics, you get some really cool views here and there of the whole island. And I just had too many issues with it. I didn't leave happy. I was just kind of glad it was over. It's especially after how much time I put into it. I don't know, I wish I liked it more than I did, but you know, it's just one game. Like, there's other good ones out, there's better ones out there. It's definitely up there, and it's earned its place in being kind of on this pedestal of it is right next to the greats, like all the good Japanese samurai games that are out there. I think it's earned that. But to kind of look at it the same is just, you could even look at this from a gaijin perspective, a foreigner. It's like, you know, you can want to be Japanese, you can take part in their culture, you can be a part of their world, and but you are never going to be. You can't change who you are. You can't change your genetics and heredity and your genes. You're not Japanese. It's one thing to embrace it, it's another thing to kind of take it a little too seriously, and you're in this complete fantasy pretend world where you gotta find some balance there. It's like, you know, hey, how do I get this across? You can live like them and talk like them and act like them and all these things, but deep inside, you are who you are. And I think the studio had like a misidentification crisis or something. Like, I don't know why this came out, but it did, and it's a part of life now, and that's just how it is, I guess. Fine. But you know, it's good, it's bad. I didn't love it, I didn't hate it. The only thing I had going for it, if this game had a different skin on it, like I said earlier, Rome, whatever else it could have possibly been, China, I would not have played it. There's just no way. The only reason why I gave this game a chance is because of the country that it took place in, and I think the audience that this game was looking for was exactly me. Someone who was just kind of simping for whatever I can get from these people. And this is what they gave us. This is what they gave me. And, you know, I want to say thanks on one hand, but on the other, it's like, yikes. Oof, I don't know. But, you know, it's all good. Things happen. Move on. The fact that I have so much to talk about because of the game, I mean, there's that. Bad press is good press type thing, but Jesus, man, it's rough, dude. I had such a frustrating time. I think if they worked on their mobility a little bit better, like if there was a Ghost of Tsushima 2 and their navigation was tremendously improved, we might have something here, but... And I'd hate for something so small like that to be my biggest problem. But I don't know. You combine it all, you put it all together, it's just a blended hot mess. Yeah, Ghost of Tsushima. It's an okay game.